Hi, folks. Nick Tuckert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Pardon my slight disheveledness. It's been a day. Before we get into the discussion of today, and I have a lot to discuss, we have a bit of business to cover. First and foremost, we want to put a huge shout out to our sponsor who make our broadcasting possible, our good friends over at IndieCD.org. Yes, the Independent Creator Directory, your one-stop shop for the best. There it is. Best and brightest authors, artists, and creatives. If you're looking to find that person to hire who will flatten your comic or edit your work, you're trying to get into the industry, these are the folks to reach out to. Now, if you want to join using code podcast1 for the first 100 people, so this could end up closed down at any point, you can get 50% off your one-time payment of $40, which is the standard lifetime fee. And so it'd be only $20 to have a website, be part of able to blog, part of a community, and have access to that calendar. It's all very, very good. We are also made possible by the sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to being able to teach the art to others. We don't need podcast one up anymore. Sorry about that. My books are they're just well received. They're designed to help somebody with plain, simple English, stick figure kind of diagrams, all for the idea of accessibility. And there, one of them, my books fell down behind my desk as I was trying to clean. So anybody can learn to sword fight with easy manuals, because I believe that martial arts, like all arts, are for everyone. We will put a shout out to Off in the Woods, Frog G, Ronald Rain, Bladed Thesis, Brian K. Morris, Cindy Kep, and Steve Augusto. I'm going to change that thing in just a bit to fix that. Those people are my Patreon members. For as little as $1 a month, you can help me keep the shenanigans going and keep teaching people how to sword fight, because I don't charge my students. A lot of times I outfit my students, and I use the money that I get from my Patreon to buy the gear, to outfit my students and outfit myself, to test it for you guys. And a lot of times I buy something so that you don't have to later. It really does help. And because I do everything out of pocket, it really does keep us all rolling. So thank you. As a slight caveat to the stream, I will also give you a heads up that I've been dealing with some stomach distress. So on top of that, I may end up having to abort the program basically anytime. We're hoping it's not a bout of whatever put me in the hospital last time. But we're going to do good. We are okay for now. I'm bringing out the big guns. Now, on to what we want to talk about today. Before I can get into the chat and everything else, I need to discuss something. Because last week, Thesis brought us a wonderful site with beautiful, beautiful training swords. So I need to get rid of that because that does not apply to what we're doing. And I want to bring this up. Here we go. And this is Castile Armory. And basically, if you watched last week, we were, oh God, my internet's being spastic. We were really excited. We were excited about, is this a new system to help improve? Can we get cheaper swords than other places? But here's the thing. If you look, you see economy rapier blade. Oops, I'm sorry, my mouse is being 109. And then you see final total 279. So if you click which rapier blade you're using, you get this. So if you go basic, and suddenly it jumps to 365, 279. And this is for the rapier. You're not even working on the dagger options, which oddly enough, aren't coming up when I look into this. So you are looking at a vast amount of money very quickly. If you want economy steel rapiers, I will recommend instead. Oh, that's Purple Heart Armory, my home away from home. No, this is Zen Warrior Armory, formerly Triplet Competition Arms. They split, and this is the company. Let me go home so you can see what it looks like. This is the company that is where I got almost all my gear when I was SCA. It's a very, very reliable company. They've been around forever. And their prices are surprisingly competitive. So if we were to look at some of the gear, so let's go shop all complete rapiers. And what you see here is the listed actual, the lowest priced options you can get and the highest price options. Which means if you are willing to scroll down a bit, you can get some swords at almost reasonable prices. A lot of these prices have gone up dramatically since I last used the site, but that's the prices of everything, I suspect. So I would look at Zen Warrior first, maybe Hanwei. There are a few others you can look at if you are looking for steel rapiers. But Castile, I just, as lovely as their weapons are, especially that Dussac, it seems like they were being shady on the pricing. So let me just go here. And it's not that, these are so much cheaper, but they are upfront about it. Now, I will say, as I have always said, when looking at a site like this, with a bit of handicraft, especially if you are either the person doing it or know a person, a simple rig like this or this can relatively easily be made. And what you need, all you need to do is come over to blades. Oh, that's on sale. Really? Are they not selling their blades anymore? Are they not selling bare blades because of basically me doing, people doing this for decades? Really? Oh, that's fascinating. But what you do is you order the blade, and then you get a tip for it. Where are they? Extras. You get one of these large blunts. No, Nita. Why is my banner turned off? Hold on. There we go. But and you put that on there, secure it with tape, have a stopper put on if it's the right type of blade, and you should be good to go if you make your own riggings. It seems like, however, that they are backing out of being able to do the parts. That surprises me. So I'm going to have to look into it because it's been a while since I've been here. I don't need fencing Santas. I am, however, intrigued by something I thought I saw. I thought I saw scratch and dent sale. Yes, I do. Let's see what they have here. Oh, exquisite friends, my duckies, Trelena. If you want to make your own sword and you want to do it easy, this is a rare and beautiful opportunity because realistically, if you have access to a drill press, you can make your own handles. They're not that hard to make. A pommel can easily be done with any heavy knob or even a ball bearing can be drilled out and threaded out. It's not that difficult with the basic tools. And frankly, with the cost of the swords, it's literally cheaper to buy a drill press, a tap and die, get all the gear, and make your own stuff than it is to buy one or two swords. So I will actually be coming back here probably after the program and snooping a little bit at these guards, because that could be very useful to me. I am, oh friends, oh, let's see, they're saying 41 bucks, but that's beautiful. I used to be able to buy almost a full sword for 41 bucks. The cheapest sword that was on there when I was doing this more was $80. It has gone up substantially since then. But getting a good dished guard is really, really difficult. So I may have to just come by here and throw some guild money at it and show you guys how to make your own training weapons. If that is something that you guys would be interested in, I'd be very excited to do that, because I should be able to order, even just if they're just fencing foils or epées or something, relatively inexpensive. That's delightful. We will see. Let me see. I want to see how much they're selling the pommels for. The pommels are still expensive, though. But interesting which ones they have. They've gotten rid of quite a few. That's not bad. So you get a pommel, so you don't have to thread it out. Drop another $5, and then you get a blade that fits your equipment. This is Triplet, their sport fencing side, which I know will sell lighter grade weapons. Now, always make sure that your weapons match the conventions of your group. Let me see. Shop. Oh, blades. I'm just curious, because that was very odd. Electric blades. Now, for what most people do, something like this, a practice foil blade. Triplet is a wonderful brand. I am very acquainted with these. So, electric epée for 26. Dynamo Saber. So what you do is you get a cheap practice blade. Oh, those are out of stock. They had a WKC Saber blade. Oh, are any of these not out of stock? Ooh, okay. You go through the blades. You can piecemeal a very functional training sword. Very easily. Now let's see what their scratch and debt sale says. Okay, it's the same guards without the prettier ones. Not surprising. And what pommels do they share? Same pommels? Same. Oh no, see, they have the epée pommels. Now you see this beast right here? That beast brings me back, because that beast lives. Now, where did I put that? On the end of my personal training sword that I've used for years. Oh, wait, I put that up because I moved that because I am cleaning. So you come over here, you get one of these cheap foil blades. You get the blade, you get the guard. Heck, let's have some fun. We'll even look at the grip. No, I don't want cords. I want grips. There we go. Now, if Al is in the chat, he's going to love all the different pistol grips. I do not know them. I have owned many of the soft plastic saber grips. I have used them. Rubber over aluminum should give a very good grip. For I would go with a. Oh, see, there's a blue French plastic. Spanish offset. Oh no, but I'd like to see that one. Snag yourself that. So that's 5. Let's tally this up before shipping and handling, keeping estimation. We've got 5 for that. Oops. Well, I can do it from over here too. The lowest blade was about 26. So we'll say 32 just to cover myself. And then we need That is the blade and the grip. Then the guards, which there is a clearance on. And these are the full price guards, but remember we found, how did we find that? Because it was somewhere it wasn't supposed to be. Oh, we're still in TCA, classical fencing. I need to go back to Zen Warrior. Give me a second. Oop. There we are. So 30, we get $3 for one of the epee pommels, and then all we need. So we're at 30. Okay, wait. Yeah. About, so we'll round up to 40. And sword, the blade, and then I just need the fight. Where? Oh, scratch and dent armory event, and then we'll say $4. So yeah, for under 50, you can make a practice foil that will work. Right around $50. That's not bad, especially when you look at the cost of training swords. Oh, add 2 or 3 for a whole bunch of the tips and some electrical tape to secure it. That's not bad, my duckies. That is a good way to get into it if you want to use foils or light fencing sabers or epes. Again, if Al's in the chat, I defer to him because he knows more on the sport fencing stuff. He is our resident sport fencer. So compared to, oops, here's 400 and I can't get that, you could get started learning techniques and using something very proper for $50 in sword. Mask is going to be between 50 and 75, and then if you're using standard fencing jackets and gloves and stuff, that a wide swath. But a lot of that's less necessary than a lot of people want. You have to be careful with the foils and the modern fencing blades. They're more prone to break, and then you need that puncture-proof, puncture-resistant fabric. So let's go to the chat, and we will see what's going on. First through the door is Foxy. Good evening, Foxy. Then Alec. Hello, Alec. And I'll be off and on this during the stream, redesigning needs a bit. Character development. Rock on. Always fun. Evening all. Hi, love. Oh, hey, Thesis. And hello, Silver Ogre, my friend. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you are doing well. I am dealing with upload issues, so I will be uploading a bunch of stuff, both for here and the Nick Knows Nerf stuff. Just shenanigans are abounding. And pardon my lack of Hawaiian shirt. It is really, really hot in here, and I can't open my door because the cats have walked through. Hey, Silver. And for those of you who don't know, the screen door that normally keeps the cats out of my office, my cat Dusty decided, I don't believe it exists, and walked through it, just tore the screen right off the door like it was nothing, so I have to close the door. Alec! Let's finish the sketch. Walk on. It's great, but I hope so. Yes, there. This morning there were some medical issues that were heinously required, and I had to take care of both dealing with some pharmaceutical mishaps and medical issues. 1 second. No, I'm not feeling particularly well. Yes, I'm breaking out the big guns. This stuff is the quenchiest. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping as well. I've got my fingers and toes crossed. Thank you. There he is. Hello, some person. Always glad to see you in the chat. Hi, Nick, some person. And I promoted IndieCD on Threads yesterday, so if there's increased, hopefully that's because, well, that's good. Hey, some person, and we got lots of greetings. And thank you, I appreciate that. Like I said, if I have either internet or stomach issues, I may have to call it, as I am watching my internet go up and down. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Um, I hope he continues to do well. I just don't quite have the time with the things I'm doing. For those of you who don't know, I am running a gaming convention at the end of September in Fowler as part of my own games. So it's an independent gaming convention. These things happen. And yes, we will. I appreciate that. I am sorry I had to kind of go, wait a second. The Dosic trainers are still lust-worthy. However, it's a lot of money. Where's the Dread Pirate Mob? They've rearranged a lot of their stuff. I didn't see it. And that confuses me because that's been there forever. Now you know how I feel. Yep. The shinies. But that's okay. We're going to work it. Bob Ross recommends an offhand main gouge. Ogre! Ogre! I love that pun. That makes my night. Foxy's giggling. Hey, Foxy, I'm glad you're giggling. That's Don Quixote. I live in the land of super turbines. If you don't think I occasionally get the urge to go galloping at one with a lance, especially on the foggy days where it looks like it's reaching through to try to get us, yes. Oh, watch Trey pop up in the chat. That'd be funny. Well, okay. You can fabricate a blade from a mattress spring, for that spring steel. Badoo-cha. I mean, if you wanted to Damascus it, it'd have to be a container Damascus? I know how to do things. I never remember the name of them. It's one of my great faults, and I admit it freely. But sorry, my brain's just not today. But we have to be careful when we're talking about weapons and making sure that we match the conventions of whatever group we're participating in. If you want to say, doorknobs tend to be a little too large. Most are unwieldy. However, drawer pulls are magnificent. Did I put that sword away too? Jeez, I go cleaning and I put my swords away and then they're not in reach. How dastardly. Let me see. Because I have actually been working back here. Okay. Nope. It's not in reach either. I moved that to the elusive someplace safe way over there. But I've used brass pulls like you get at Menards. You find ones that are very solid. You pick them up. You get a tap and you just regrind and thread it out because it's going to be larger. Oh go! I think it's it's metric 1/8. I think it's the threading. I have to double check that. I'm a little wobbly. But yeah, making large portions of your own gear using professionally acquired blades is a wonderful way to save money, personalize your gear, and have a good time doing it. And hi, Kitty. And yes, leaf springs. They make for beautiful blades if you're going to do the home forgery thing. As in forging, not forgery. I'm not sure. I'm waiting on some of my other developments to see if I can get back into that or not. All of it's deciding if my nerves will take it. Everyone's greeting Kitty. Faucet knobs, if they're solid, they have to be solid. And a lot of them are hollow. You get the blade, you get the guard, you're ready for the high seas. I'm all about applied piracy. A drawer in my tool chest, working on stuff I have a drawer in my garage without and in my tool chest we can talk about assorted trainers. All you need is a burlap sack and you're in business. Yes. Fun fact, Doc used to work on many manly things and gets hands dirty with fixing things. I also have all my dad's old car repair stuff. Excellent. Then you probably have buried out there somewhere a tap and die set. Fun, Alec. Sounds about right, some person. Growing up, I always had a bunch of doorknobs around. And basically, they grew up married and moved out. But, nicely done, sir. Lamau and LOL. Chevrolet Corvair, 60 to 64 car, dream car I'd love to work on one day. There's one sitting in a car lot. Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Oh, yes. Yeah, they're pretty. Back on the farm, I've got a Chevy Nova. Oh, you guys are talking back. I love knowing how Red Valkyrie Group is doing. I get busy. I'm a strange creature that flits between groups, trying to help them, build them up, do what they need, and then when I'm no longer useful, I slip out the back. I can't with this group because I built it. And we're working on it. No worries, Nick. But I check on them. I try to catch the streams when I want to. The other thing is I have very strict, for medical reasons, sleep schedules now, and I have to keep that. I also have a lot of drawer pulls as well, over 20 of those. I collect things. Awesome. I love seeing things made from junk. The best recycling is pretty creative. I really would love to show you my thin blade, if I could remember which area I put it in. It might be in my bedroom, though. So next week, I will bring out some of the gear that that's been worked on, how we did it, and we can talk. Like, she blinded me with science. She cleaned everything up, and now I can't find any. Yes, and Amanda did. She helped. And then she left the doom pile. So it literally undid the parts that I wanted done. That's okay. We're going to work on that. I'm a man of many talents. Some I go. You're the Mary Poppins of DMing. I really am. Right now, I have an active group. Well, if you've heard Alec talk, where I gleefully run a game for the Benton County Public Library, and they are really trying to get me to do a few more things over there, many of them involving Nerf blasters, amongst other things. Shoot. Okay, it's going to be one of those days. Sorry. Many, many years ago, I took a very bad spill on really fine pea gravel. And every so often, even now, I'll get what feels like the most murderous of all, like, pimple things come up, and it's a rock coming out of me. It just hurts like the dickens. Sorry about that. And okay, good way to be. I was thinking Kane from Kung Fu of DMs. I'll take that too. When you can take this die from my hand, then you'll be a DM. And Alec is saying, hi, Mitsu and Garb for life. Yes. Now, we discussed that. What's going on? The big thing going on is July 27th. It's a Saturday. The guild will be getting together for the opening of the Gary Shakespeare Company's new production. Honestly, I cannot remember which play it is offhand. I'd have to ask Joe, and I always forget to ask him. But they've asked us to come out. Now, last year we came out. It was a great time. Had fun. Got some great pictures. This year, I wonder if they're in my brand at all. No, I didn't. I have a lot of images that aren't here from the migration. So you'll have to give me some time to reacquire some of that. But we are looking forward to it. But I have to, over the next few weeks, that's probably why my stomach's upset. I'm trying to adapt myself back to the heat, which is in part why I went out to the Benton County Public Library's Nerf annual Nerf battle thing for the teens, and was able to run around like a nut job shooting Nerf guns at small children. It was a good time. No, they were all teens. It was fine. Let's see. And we have all the best heroes growing up were vagrants. Absolutely. I consider myself something of a scrounge. I still am. Although 5th edition did pull out a class I would actually love to play, besides the glory that is Gizmo Glitch, the Gnomish Artificer. The class is a monk, believe it or not, a Way of the Kensai monk, or Path of the Kensai. It's very interesting. It is a monk artist. It's an aesthetic, a weapons-based monk. So yes, they made it. It made perfect sense, and then they dumped it with, or they haven't truly ported it over for, what do they call it? The new D&D. That's okay. As long as I can get it for free and brainwash it, I mean, borrow it, I will. But yeah, I'll probably run that at some point. And which is why I'm a good support character. I grew up a farm girl. Absolutely. And Nitsu is a character who goes, wee, and tries to do what's needed unless he's busy thinking of guard. That's Nitsu. There is one brain cell between Nitsu and about 3 other characters, and it's rarely Nitsu's turn. He got major-ish redesign. Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. Now, barring the RPG shenanigans, I'm just a meat shield with some fun special effects. Yeah, but they're really fun special effects, and you're a heck of a meat shield. Besides, you have Captain Harlock as your icon. There is nothing cooler. Like, Captain Harlock is like the Bill Murray of anime. You don't get higher than Captain freaking Harlock. It's not about power. It's about he's Captain freaking Harlock. I get it. We're geeking out a lot off topic right now, and I'm here for it today. I think we need that. But I'm hoping everyone is out drilling. I hope you're fighting, you're sparring with your local groups. Ouch, hey, he gets the brain cell. Coughs, crickets. Yeah. And it's important that you don't neglect your basics, and don't neglect your footwork. It's very easy to do standing drills and simply go through the motions. I'm at a point where the drills I do are in part combat-based, but a lot of it is also focused musculature-based, which is why I'm starting to get my chest back. I'm starting to get my shoulders and arms back. The process takes time, but it's worth it. Now, that being said, just like when you're a lifter, you don't neglect leg day. Of course, Kwai Chang came from Kung Fu. The legend, Kung Fu and the legend continues. Kung Fu Ogre. Oh, yes. I was like, Kung Fu Ogre, what's that? Yes. But, yes, Kwai Chang Kang is something of a hero of mine. And I enjoy the spin-off series Kung Fu The Legend Continues so much. It's really funny. I'm the only one who can call my dad Pops. No one else can call my dad Pops. Because if my brothers do it, they're being disrespectful. If I do it, he knows it's a reference to Kung Fu The Legend Continues, that old show in the 80s. Not as old as the old show in the 90s, not as old as the show in the 80s. I love both. I'd come aboard only by your own free will and fight for what you love. Sometimes I think the world that I think I acquired the medical conditions to keep me where I need to be. I was nerfed. Because boy, does that, if the Arcadia came by. Anyway, and I've been majorly working on footwork. Honestly, I'm building up the hand and arm motions. Hands are harder to work for me. That is something next time I get a chance, we can meet up and I can talk you through. No big deal, especially if we have a cane or other sword simulating object to make it work. Kung Fu, The Legend Continues was good, but Warrior is better, mostly because it's actually what Kung Fu was supposed to be. Good to know. I know there was one that I think had Nick Frost in it that was very martial artsy, and it was quite good, and I can't remember the name of it, like Outlands or Borderlands, not Borderlands, it's the game. Anyway, there are a few good shows, and if you have a chance, I recommend, if you like relatively modern Kung Fu flicks, look up something called Banraku. Phenomenal. Into the Badlands, thank you. But I'm sorry, I was talking to Thesis, he said Into the Badlands. I would like to see more communication between the Western and Eastern martial arts studies, because I'm seeing it's like they're getting insular again. It's like there was starting to be growth and interest, but they're getting insular. Don't do that. Cross-study as much as humanly possible to find what works for you. One thing that's very different about my philosophy than most other sword masters and instructors is I'm not here to teach you how to fight. I'm here to teach you how sword fighting works and help you find your fight. Yes to both of those facts. Probably watch Kung Fu: The Legend Continues with Xander. Warrior, not so much. No, but I did want to learn to play that style of flute. I can't, but I play. Recorder, not recorder. Good God, no. That was earned. I play a little bit of Irish tin whistle. This hair, before it started running out of toner, was very, very red. It was auburn with like red highlights. Oh, it was good. Now it's just whatever this is, and I'm trying to grow it out so that the gray will be uniform, or just let it keep going. I don't know. A lot of it's about keeping balance, but there are some really great footwork exercises you can do, and that's what I was going to do. Thank you. I need to look to see if I can find a file. So I will be doing something momentarily because backups, documents, Spanish fencing techniques, Spanish training. It's all locked up in the old box. Okay, so I'll have to delay the circle and the cross until I can get those files up to show you. It means I'm going to have to dig to find my backups of my backups because of the forced Lenovo 11 upgrade shutting down my box. I'm not done with it. I have not surrendered. I have not yet begun to fight. But, and yes, that makes sense. The downside became a bit of an upside, where I think they made Kung Fu, the original show, a little more philosophical than how Bruce probably would have done it. It will be interesting. I have not seen Warrior. I will have to look into it. But it's like watching the fighting in Disney's Three Musketeers versus the Michael York Three Musketeers versus the, I want to say, Guy Ritchie Three Musketeers that came out later. You're going to see very different takes on fighting and fencing. What I like to see is when, especially in the Three Musketeers, the trio fight differently. They should not all have the same fighting style. Their styles should overlap, but in the end, they should function very different. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves about any sword fighting program. When the all the fighters and all the bad guys fight the same way. It's harder to choreograph because you have to have knowledge of multiple styles. They did very well on Game of Thrones, from what I've seen. I've never seen an actual episode of Game of Thrones, but people are always sending me fight scenes and such. And getting to see fighters of different styles literally fighting in a different manner, especially when they are different body types. The fight between, I want to say, Bryn. Bryn is from Bryn Shea from Red Valkyrie Presents. So Brienne and whatever, and Arya, they have a really neat sparring session, and I think that was incredibly informative, because you got to see how someone of dramatically smaller size would have to move to fight someone much larger, and it shows it in a surprisingly believable way. And Warrior was the okay. I didn't watch Warrior. Actually, I didn't hear about Warrior. I'll be honest; it never hit my radar. I heard about the reboot with Olivia Liang. Oh yeah, the reboot was great. Too bad it got canceled last year. It's real easy. If a program is good and it shows believable Western martial arts or Eastern martial arts, if it has a story, it will be canceled, because they need to make room for, Big Brother Survivor, now on Bachelor Island. That's how it works. Because they need another NCIS. It just happens. But you enjoy it while it's here. And you work for the best. But getting back to reality and ourselves, because this has been a very chatty one. I hope you don't mind. 4 seasons in all were awesome. Okay. 4 seasons is a good run. I do like to see physics applied properly, because I see a lot of things where a lighter, smaller opponent with technique can overcome a larger opponent who either has less technique or has made a mistake. However, it isn't going to look the same way as if a big person did it. It has to be a bit more cunning. Usually involves not fully strength based. So full body arm bar, where all the force that person has is to inverting the elbow or something like that. This makes sense. If a smaller person can pull this craziness off and not get just smashed around, it's doable. The problem is a lot of fighting, especially sword fighting, if you look at the actual historical combat, you look at the reviews of the bodies, the vast majority of time, it was short and it was brutal. Knife fighting, as a rule, is short and brutal. And never get confused. Sword fighting is at its root knife fighting, but with we'll say a lot of reach. And yes, I do agree. Unfortunately, there is a lot of anti-Asian bigotry that rose up further from the pandemic. I'm sorry, I had to remember the list of words I'm not supposed to say on YouTube. Frankie Valli was pretty good too. Okay? But what I need to know is, what do you guys want to fight? What styles reach out to you and draw you out? I mean, for me, Spanish fencing and late colonial Spanish fencing, because Zorro, and a few others, dual wielding curved swords, because I grew up reading the Drizzt Do'Urden books as they came out. Oh, sorry about that. Go, Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. He who laughs last thinks slowest, and that is me. I told you guys I haven't been feeling very well, so my my gears just. Thank you, the ogre, though. That's funny. That is funny. I just had to connect the two. Like I said, I've had a lot of shenanigans and dealing with some things because Mandy had to go do some medical stuff, and I had to take care of the house because I was not up to going to do it. So it has been a rough day for me. That being said, I think looking at the styles that our favorite characters fought is a wonderful way to decide where we want to go. Now, I do tend to focus on teaching single-handed weapons that are fairly light and fairly easy to manipulate. I do teach some mass weapons, but teaching a mass weapon in a sparring session is it's virtually impossible to do accurately and safely. See, that's my problem. It is about 85 degrees in here, I would wager, worse with the computer running, and I am a toasty Nick. So I actually, okay, that's not too hot. I actually have to look into doing something else because I can't work with this time of year. So I'll be working on my screen door. It may get chicken wire next. Boy, is that going to look terrible. But you find what inspires you and you walk towards it. If it turns out that the fantasy about it is inaccurate, you decide, do you continue and learn the accurate version or do you do something else? There's nothing wrong with growing and learning in those fronts. But we do need to keep consciously trying to learn, consciously trying to improve, and find what we are headed towards. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Headed towards the I'm sorry, my brain is scrambled right now. Let's see. We're sitting at 94 still. Yeah, we are currently. I don't care about sports. It keeps giving me information I don't want in my little corner. I just want the weather. I don't want the news. I want the weather. Anyway, I think we are sitting in the 90s ourselves, and this room is basically not properly air conditioned because of the Okay, it is air conditioned. What happens is we get hit with this evening sun, and it just cooks this room. I have a insulated mylar blanket that is against the window to help reflect some of it. If you touch it, it is actually hot to the touch. So it is very warm, which explains why I'm a little out of it. I think I get it. But we're sitting at 94. I don't have any TV or book inspirations. It's just Nick. But I'm figuring out stuff as I go. Well, Alec, I am going to recommend a couple to you. One is going to be made into a TV series, and that is called Alana, Protector of the Small by Tamora Pierce. And in the same universe, a sequel series, Caladri. Is Caladri's Protector of the Small. Alana's the Lioness series. Sorry. I'd get in trouble if Matt had heard me make that mistake. But there's a lot in Alana that fits the having to overcome. For me, the Dark Trilogy by R.A. Salvatore, incredibly good reading. I really recommend it. And start with the Dark Elf trilogy. It is not in written order, but it is in it's a prequel, and it's probably some of the best. You will love the universe. It's fascinating. However, I do want to mention some things because I saw some things over here that looked interesting, and I want to mention them. So I am going to I'm at the new highlighted stuff. So let me bring this back up. Yes, I know the wire grid stuff. I just say chicken wire because I have a roll of it. One, Purple Heart Armory Audacity. Yes, just yes. I need to. They used to have one that said Stabulous. I think they ran out of it, but I saw that and I'm like, that's great. Runs with Swords is definitely wonderful. But I saw, to those of you who are interested a bit in my youth longsword trainer, and absolutely, Alec, I'll make sure you get all those. A youth fetter trainer is out there. So for the smaller people looking for a lighter start, I really think that could be good for you guys. Sorry about that. It bounced me out of my own stream because my internet's a little unstable. But Princess Bride, Captain Blood, Jet Li's Hero, Fearless. Oh, yes. Yes, it's okay. All is well. There's only 9 minutes. He went poof. Yes, I was telling the glory of what could be gone and just got bumped right off. But there are some great trainers out there. What I'll do is how about that? How about we do this? Do I have a writing implement here? It's your desk. You should have many. Of course, I have none. Nerf balls galore, but no writing implement. Aha! Don't speak so soon. Next week, we will discuss inspiration. Discuss books and films, inspiration and education. So I can give you references to some of my favorite video sources to train from. I can give you references to the books that help me get going. Books aside, of course, from The Simple Sword, which, of course, anyone watching this who wants to participate really should have at least the digital copy. I keep it as cheap as Amazon will let me. That's why I switched format to the smaller books and smaller sections. It was all about keeping things cheap on your end. But I am waiting for the Krieg Messers and the hunting Messers to show up as fencing swords. But I have a simple sword grip. Yes. The Antonio Banderas Zorro movies were phenomenal. The old Zorro movies were phenomenal as well. But there's a lot to learn from, especially the training scenes, except they did one thing wrong. The circles they're taught wrong. They're taught from the perspective of revenge, which is very nice as an emotional state. My hair tie snapped, and I don't have one in reach. But you control the smallest circle around you and work your way out, not biggest circle, work your way in. And take a look at Nick's books, The Simple Sword, The Simple Spear, and The Fighting Axe, all on Amazon. And after I get a few things done, there may be another one coming up pretty quick. I just have a lot of game work I have to do between now and September. So we'll be dealing with that. There are a lot of manuals. If you're looking for historical manual, please read Gigante's The Rapier or the Soleil. Both of them are phenomenal. Jill Burrup's, okay. Jill Burrup's fight review series is good, but you have to always remember that she does it from the perspective of a stage combatant. It's a little different than the way I take it. But then again, I take it more practical than a lot of other teachers. Nick's new book, The Simple Brick. Rage, cleverly disguised as a brick, cleverly disguised as a goose. Many, many, many years ago, a dear friend of mine had a friend, and their friend had an abusive boyfriend. And my friend of mine decided to grab the doorstop and yeet it at him in a fit of, I'm not dealing with this anymore. That doorstop was literally a brick with a crocheted goose around it to make it pretty. So, and it was staggeringly effective at making him reconsider his actions. But the line became rage, cleverly disguised as a brick, disguised as a goose. And that lived with me. Control! Control! You must learn control. Yeah. Dead. Lamau. It's like the music to drill idea came from a couple weeks back. I finally ended up sending Nick the Google Doc. I spent way too much time building. I could do the same with movies and TV. And we could do where we assess them and we discuss them a bit. I won't show footage from them because I have to be very careful with copyright management. And because I am a weapons-based YouTube channel, I am oppressed by the horror of the algorithm. It's getting worse because my other channel, I'm reviewing Nerf blasters, and the algorithm does not like that either. However, it looks like we've got some good things in the works. And we are watching the net close up and drop back down. So I think even though it's a couple minutes early, I'm going to cut it here, guys. Just say thank you for a lovely discussion. We'll be back next week, and we'll be discussing what books and films inspire and educate us. So the best in fiction and nonfiction. Bring your things. Oh, yes. Still looking forward to the final synthesis of Distressa and Dow circle techniques. Oh God, I do have to say that's taking the what your body has figured out and putting it into physicality. Fun show, Nick. Thank you. So, guys, till I see you next time, keep your guard up, do your drills, be kind to yourself and each other, and as always, thank you for supporting your local sword master. I'll see you next week. Toodles, folks.